Yo, what's up guys? So welcome back to yet another video. First things first, I want to apologize for not being in an actual game when I do the commentary for this. My throat is like hella sore, and I'm struggling to I'm a little bit sick, so I just feel like having a coherent thought train and also playing the game, not really in my wheelhouse right now. But you look to the title, you're probably wondering what it is, and to catch you up to date, DOTA2 has actually released a phone verification system on their matchmaking, so that when you hit the point where you can play ranked, or I actually, for DOTA2 I don't even think you need to wait. You can play, but you have to have a phone verified. You have to have a linked cell phone. So this was their statement. They said that the first major change is that players must register a unique phone number to their accounts in order to queue for ranked matches. Players using multiple accounts create a negative matchmaking experience at all skill brackets, so our goal is to add just enough friction to this process so that the number of players doing this will be notably reduced. Having more players using their primary accounts will have a positive effect on both ranked and unranked matchmaking. There will be a 2-week grace period, blah 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 blah. They're rolling it out, and I was wondering what your guys' thoughts on this would be in regards to League of Legends. Now, there are positives and there are negatives, and I'm kind of on the fence with this one. But I'm interested to open up a discussion with you guys because, you know, you guys, I mean, I can think of things in my own critical way of thinking, but I can guarantee that my opinion or my thought process is going to be vastly different from yours. So I'll give you my thought process. We'll talk a little bit about the pros and cons, and then we'll come to some kind of conclusion in the comment section, I guess. I'll trying to get involved in the discussion with you guys. So anyway, the first things first, we'll go for the pros first, I guess, because I feel like there's probably more cons than pros, but those pros are probably more important to people. So first of all, of course, you can pretty much cut boosting out of the equation. With like the phone, well, actually, I don't know. It depends if it requires verification to get onto the account as well, I guess. I figure that would probably include two-step, but at least it would cut down on smurfing really hard. Maybe not boosting, but it would cut down on smurfing a lot. Now, obviously, it's not very difficult to like borrow your mum's cell phone to like link an account, or like borrow your brother or your sister's cell phone just to be like, hey, can I link my account to like League of Legends so I can play in a smurf? You know, it's not that difficult, but I feel like that would probably be enough to cut down a lot of the smurfing, at least in ranked. I mean, nobody's stopping anybody from playing normal games here, but when it comes to ranked, that's it. The question is whether or not it has to be like a proper phone, like like drug dealers get like burner phones and shit, where they use it and then they throw it away. Would it be possible to use that kind of phone, or would you have to have like a proper like validated fucking phone or something? I don't know. But so people, I think a lot of the things that people would say is a good thing is that Smurfs are a negative part of the game, and I'm not entirely certain I completely agree. I feel like that's what the Dota devs are going for. They're trying to say that smurfing is straight up bad at any level, and I kind of get where they're coming from on that one, but at the same time, when it comes to like higher elo and stuff like that, some of the queue times can be like genuinely ridiculous. Like you can have like you could have a queue time in a higher elo that is longer than the game that you're going to play. So a lot of these players, like like Dyrus, Boy, all these guys, they have like a bunch of smurfs that they play on because it is just infinitely easier to get a game on that than it would be if they were playing like, oh, I should just fucking destroyed that guy. I destroyed that beginner bot. I'm so good. It's so much easier to get a game on a smurf, and especially when they're streaming. It's unfucking real. You can't just wait that amount of time to get a game for somebody to watch it on stream. It's unreal. Like there used to be like points where pro players would let's play games on stream because there was so much downtime between their games. It was unreal. So they want to cut smurfing down, but whether or not you think smurfing is a good or a bad thing is entirely dependent on the kind of person you are. I'm on the fence about smurfing entirely. As I say, when I get a smurf in my game, I'm kind of like, that kind of fucking sucks. But as long as the person is playing to win and isn't intentionally in that elo, like let's say a challenger player, they have intentionally lost a bunch of games so that they can get into bronze, so they can just fuck around and stomp games. That is not what I agree with. However, if it's like a diamond player who's just like, I want to level up an account, but I only want to play this kind of character. So for instance, like they're a diamond mid main, but they decided they want to try and get high elo with AD carry. And that happens a lot, and I think that is absolutely perfectly fine, because the way I think about rank and elo, when it comes to champions, is that obviously the way that Riot have like kind of catered their system, I feel like you can, and I think most people would be inclined to agree with me, you can be a certain elo in a certain role, but you can also be like a lot lower elo on your off-roads. So like the way that Riot system works, and it's a really stupid system if I'm being honest with you, because it just doesn't make any sense, because autofill just completely ruins it. Riot kind of wants you to get good at 2 roles. So you could be like a diamond level mid and top, but you get autofill to support AD carry and your dog shit. You're like gold, low plat tier. That's what your rank is in that role. And I think that is like, that's why I feel like smurfing isn't quite as much of an issue when it comes to cases like that. Obviously the person's still gonna have a lot of game knowledge, but I don't know, when I feel like I had a decent amount of game knowledge, and like I feel like I lack mechanics rather than game knowledge. Like I'm fairly like well versed on, like, I know every champion's ability, I know most of the cooldowns. You know, I'd say my knowledge is pretty decent, but the thing I lack is the mechanics and stuff, and I kind of get tunnel vision-y. So I don't honestly feel like a lot of game knowledge is really giving you too much of an upper hand at lower elo, especially considering, you know, nobody pays attention to fucking anything anyway, even in Ply elo. Like, motherfucker, I got a 0-10 fucking Graves in my game last night. I ain't fucking got time for this shit. Plat 5, man, are you fucking serious? It's the worst elo on fucking planet Earth, dude. At the same time, whilst I'm fine with smurfing, Riot actually isn't okay with smurfing, like, at all. They do not endorse it. Now, they tolerate it because, honestly, there's no really other way around some of these problems, like massive queue times. With all these huge players, they want the players to be able to play and enjoy the game. They just let them have smurfs. They let them have smurfs, they let them use smurfs. Because otherwise, people are not going to watch the fucking game. People are not going to stick around 30 minutes of them playing Solitaire or Minesweeper or some shit. They want people to watch the game, so they tolerate smurfing, but they don't really outwardly endorse it, which kind of makes sense. It's a relationship that is beneficial for them to like maintain in that regard. Also, another pro is that we have to consider the fact that there are an awful lot, and I mean an awful lot, of botted accounts that are floating around League of Legends. It's quite fucking unreal. You go into a game, co-op versus AI game, in lower levels at the beginning, and you will be faced with almost entirely bots. Now, this is just my personal experience with it when I was leveling up one of my smurfs, but it was ridiculously filled to the brim with awful bots. Boring as shit games, didn't meet anybody fun. I remember back when, you know, used to, like, back when I was like, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, when the game was really starting to boom, when I was leveling up smurfs. I never ever leveled up to 30, I always got bored shitless before I got to it. But you got to meet new players and like help them out and talk to them about the game, and like, I don't know what it is, but I get like really, like, when people talk about the game in a way that they've never seen a game before, it kind of makes me a little bit excited, even if I'm not particularly excited about the game myself. It's like when you show your friend like a movie that you really love, and you just sit there waiting for a reaction from them. It's kind of like that. That's kind of how I feel about it all. But fucking dude, bots versus co-op versus AI is just a fucking ghost town, filled with bots. It's awful, and like, phone verification could very much stamp that problem out. And as well as this, it could stamp out like a decent majority of hacking as well. They're obviously, you know, it's not going to stop hacking. Of course not. We've seen some of the hacks that have been going on. The Xerath exploit that I posted a little while ago. But you know, you get one account banned, and that's you kind of fucked. Your phone number is now no longer valid for any account because it's been locked and stuck on that account. So unless you get a new phone, you can't really do anything with it. Like, you can't really do anything with it, you know? You can't go into ranked, you can't ruin people's fucking games. Because we know that Riot never give LP back. They are very much against giving LP back from, like, losses and stuff. So, that's a possible fucking solution to getting rid of fucking hackers in ranked games. But, on the other side of the fucking coin, there's probably a decent amount of cons as well. So at the same time, whilst they don't endorse smurfing as a con, they probably don't want to stop it either. Gotcha, bitch. They probably don't want to stop it either, and that's because obviously the pros and a lot of their big streamers smurf quite often. They don't want to fucking throw fuel on the fire. They do not want to shit on people's bonfire. It would just be a mess, and it would probably cause a pretty decent backlash. So there's a good chance the Riot are not going to touch it with a 10-foot shitty stick, which is completely understandable in all honesty. I probably would not touch that myself. I would not be as stupid enough to anger the angry fucking beehive that is the League of Legends community. On top of that, you know, with all these companies basically selling out all of our fucking information these days, like with that bill that was recently passed in America, where your information, your search history can now be publicly searched. Do we really fucking need another company having our phone numbers? Like, yeah, sure, they say they'll never show it to anybody, but at the end of the day, you know, what people say, what companies say, and what they do are two very vastly different things. So, even though I like Riot, do I trust them with my mother's maiden name and my first dog and my phone number and my height and my list of fears? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, Jesus Christ, though. It might add a little bit of security. I mean, in Korea, in South Korea, you need to have a fucking personal ID card to even sign up to League of Legends. Like, what? It's insane. It's just, I guess to stop players outside of Korea playing, you have to have like an ID card. That's a little bit insane for just a video game, but that's like the other side of the security spectrum, where it's too, like, almost too fucking secure, you know? And finally, I guess you could see this as a pro or a con. But we've seen people get banned for dumb shit in the past. And it feels like a very much, almost like a one strike and you're out policy kind of thing now. If this was the case, if you found yourself, I just always for a wave, how does that make you feel? If you found yourself in the position wherein, you know, you get banned and it was actually genuinely a fucking, a wrong decision, there's no recourse for you ever playing the game again besides buying another phone, and that's just not an option for God knows how many people. But at the same time, if you're risking your phone number and your ability to play this game ever again, would that stop you being toxic? It's a fucking beehive, dude, and it's a scary, scary beehive, and I don't know. I'm as I say, I'm really interested to like know your thoughts on it. Because there's a lot of privacy, a lot of interesting things. I have a really weird love-hate relationship with like Valve and with Dota. Dota do some things fantastically, but they also kind of like, Valve and Dota kind of rule with an iron fist almost. Like, a lot of their security measures are like pretty ridiculous. Like, they have the Prisoner Island concept that I spoke about in a couple videos. They have the low priority queues where, you know, if you're a bad boy, you get sent to the naughty corner to play with the other bad boys. And it's like, it's kind of like, it's brutal, dude. It's brutal. They have this, and now they have the phone verification, and oh god, it's just like, these guys they're doing a lot of fucking shit. But I guess, I don't know. Valve have always been like very upfront about their security. Like, Back have always had a zero tolerance bullshit policy anyway, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you think below. I'm interested to know. It's a fucking hornet's nest, but I don't know. It's interesting though. Fucking interesting. I don't know, you guys probably don't find this shit interesting. But I'm sick as shit, so I don't know if I sound it or not. I've got like a fucked up nose and shit. But yeah, I find it fucking interesting. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. I will no doubt see you tomorrow. Even though I'm a little bit sick, I still power through because I'm a fucking beast. So yeah. Bye.